Alrighty, fellas. Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski. Good morning. Welcome to another PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, discussion, conversation, topics, events, news, anything Pokemon related. We try to discuss it here every single day, Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Let's go ahead and jump into things. I thought today I was ready to start the stream. Like, yo, guys, it's a pretty boring day today, pretty chill day in PokeMMO. My plan is really just to grind on the Ironman account, but unfortunately, I mean, for better or for worse, some pretty exciting things came up. So we actually have some pretty cool stuff to cover today, some pretty abnormal stuff, developer communication, big unofficial events. The Pokemon community has been vastly discussing how do we want to do Safari Week upcoming, because the official Safari Week, if you don't know, Safari Week is a Pokemon activity, not just a PokeMMO thing. It's a Pokemon event held by the community of Pokemon, where they just shiny hunt in the Safari Zone as much as possible within a week's period. It's for the love of the game. It's for the chaos. It's for the glory. It's just to kind of go against what the Safari Zone makes you afraid of and get over your fear, I guess, in a lot of ways. I love Safari Week. But unfortunately, Safari Week is probably going to coincide with official Shiny War this year. So we've been deciding when do we want to host our own PokeMMO Safari Week. And there have been a few different teams doing things and there's a few different options. I'm going to cover two of those options today, but first things first, we have a catch event, an official catch event coming up on June 11th, Thursday. That is in 2 days, or 1 day from the recap. It's at 3 p.m. ET, 3 p.m. ET, Ruster of Tunnel Hoenn. You're just catching Whismers with a nature bonus of +3 for Rash and -3 for Careful. Should be a pretty easy, like, false swipe Pokeball catch event. You might be able to false swipe Sport Pokeball. I don't know if it's quick ballable. It could be if you want to. It's up to you. There is a shiny Whismer up for grabs. Beautiful shiny Pokemon, beautiful shiny sprite, follower sprites, Loudred and Exploud. Next up, we have two unofficial Tetch events, okay? Two big unofficial events hosted both by Call Me Sensei. They are trying to garner some love and support for Safari Week, which I love in Pokemon. I will be participating in as many of these as I possibly can. This is a good excuse for me to get off the Ironman account, take a break, get back on the main account, and run in the Safaris, because I love it. I think in PokeMMO, Safari Week is it's even more special in my opinion, because the shiny rate's 1 in 30,000. When you have a shiny rate of 1 in 30,000, there's a chance the shiny can run away. It's next level fear. And I think the beautiful part of Safari Week is getting over that fear, getting over that, like, shiny hunting and Pokemon in general, not even Pokemon, isn't about the actual catching of the shiny. It's about the journey and the memories you make, the screenshots you get, the stories, the live stream reactions, about the friends we made along the way type beat, but like unironically, right? But this Safari Week catch event is coming up on June 20th, Saturday. It is at 4 p.m. Terrible. 4 p.m. ET, that's my time zone, in Great Marsh, Sinnoh. There's two different ones for two different regions. This one is in the Great Marsh of Sinnoh. You have 2 hours, okay? It's a 2-hour catch event, and then 10 minutes to submit your entry as per usual. There is a shiny bonus, so any shinies will get. I love catch events with shiny bonuses, dude. You will get +10 if you get a shiny, and +20 for a secret shiny if you happen to catch one. Pokemon accepted as valid entries: Tangela's +25, Yanma's +25, Wiztash +18, Krogong +18, Carnivine +18, Tropius +18, Gyarados +18, +16s are Scorpy, Quagsire, +14 is Bibarel, +10 is Carvana, +8s are Psyduck and Marill, +5 is Barboach, +3s are Buidu, Starly, Bidoof, and Wooper, and then Magikarp is just a measly little +1, understandably. I love that there's so many submittable Pokemon, and I assume it's all by their catch rates, right? And this is an unofficial event. So Ironman, by my rule sets, you cannot do this. I'm sorry. I will be doing this on my main account, as well as it's good. The prizes can be unique as well. And it's different than like an official catch event, which is why it's fun. You get like extra, you get like special, fresh new rules, as opposed to the same catch event rules every single day. So here we have 1st through 6th place. It's not just 1st through 3rd. This is 1st through 6th place is the highest. You're going to order up highest. So let's go ahead and see. PokeMMO Safari, they do have a Discord linked up. I don't know if you need it on the Discord or not. I'm not told. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But the Discord will give you extra information and updates. I'm in the Safari Week Discord. This event runs on an open donation system. The prize pool is dynamic. The reward will continuously increase as new donations come in, even while the event is running. So this event is being based on donations, the prize. And we have a lot of donations. Wow. Dude, shout out Team Pori and Optic. I mean, everybody, Lem and Riz, 10 million donations. I had not seen this yet. This is news to me. Dude, good flexes from the team. Fucking show that those money bags. Holy shit. Pori, Optic, Lem, and Risk all flexing. Big donations, man. That's amazing. Congratulations, man. That's sick. I'm glad they got that in. And then we got some individual players as well. Big Curry, Garrett, and Misto. Thank you guys for donating to a fun event like this. First place prize right now at the current time is about 10 million Pokeyen. Second place set. This is a sick prize pool already. What the fuck? 10 million Pokeyen first place. Second, this is going to be a really crazy prize pool. Second place is 7 million Pokeyen. Third place is 4 million-ish Pokeyen. Fifth and sixth are about 1.5 million. And then first team prize, dinner rewards, first player prize. I'm not sure what this is honestly exactly. This is a big event, man, coming up, and that's just for the Great Marsh in Sinnoh. And anybody can do this. That's the beautiful thing, is you only need Sinnoh done up until the Great Marsh to be able to participate in this event. Like, it's actually really, really, really easy to do this event for like so many new players and beginners and yada, yada, yada. Next up, we have another Safari one in Johto. So if you don't have Sinnoh done for whatever reason, you should try to get it done before this date. But if you don't have it done for whatever reason, I believe there's also a Johto one. To be fair, this forum post does also say Sinnoh. The title says Johto, but then this says Sinnoh. So I think it's meant to be. I think this is a separate event. It's just a typo. We'll get that fixed, of course. Or I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. So it seems like there will be, because yeah, these are new donations, I think, which is crazy, dude. I'll learn more about that personally and try to get back to you guys and update that in future stream recaps. But for now, those are the two big Safari catch events that I'm aware of, and there might be more coming up. Now, we did get some developer communication, which I have not heard many people talk about. It's pretty fresh, to be fair. And like, this is a great, I think Barrels commented on this and really summed up, you know, my thoughts on this. I recently did a stream recap showing Q's GitHub, where he jokingly said like a year or two ago, if you want to keep track on the game updates, check out my GitHub. And GitHub is just a way for developers to like share certain resources and log things. It's really mostly back-end stuff and like bug testing from my understanding, but I don't understand this stuff nearly enough. I'm just a layman when it comes to coding and game developing, and I have no idea what it's really like. And I try to qualify that and be open about that as much as I possibly can. But someone just kind of asked, you know, can you inform us what were those updates about? And Q just fucking said it, man. This gives me, I need to be better. I think something I can improve on is just making forum posts. I make these videos and I talk, you know, in my space, but I need to be better about going to their space to ask them questions. They seem to answer them a fair bit, man. One of our initiatives this spring has been technology modernization, including porting from GLFW to SDL3. No idea what that means. This required writing a new backend for our upstream library, libgdx, but I did for several reasons. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what any of this means. I just don't, to be honest with you. He goes over some things, certain concepts such as pen pressure, touch controls. It seems like, and I think I even talked about this in my stream recap a little bit. It seems like they're working on, like controllers, some controller support. It seems like touch controls. He even mentioned jokingly, like, eventually I will add haptic support to the game so we can finally have the ultimate gameplay experience, rumbling gamepads during cutscenes. Like, I think this is a really good example. Often video game players just say, oh, add Kalos, add this, do this, you know, add blah, 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 add all that. There is so much, and if you work any job, I think you know this, there is so much back end stuff that just the day to day to keep things functioning on a large system like this is just so much, right? Not even just quality of life stuff. Quality of life stuff I think of as like the Lepa Berry, you know, re-procking. This is quality of life, to be fair, but even to me this is more like just back end work and UI stuff they mentioned, right? Fixing the blurriness. We can finally have clean scaled UI textures. Like, a lot of this is just, it takes a lot of time, you know? I think it's a good reminder that we're not game developers. If you are a game developer, more power to you. You have a lot more insight than me, right? But I'm not a game developer, and I just try to trust the devs wherever I can. Obviously, I disagree with updates when they have updates that I disagree with, and I've talked about that openly. But I want to live in a world with a little bit more empathy towards everybody, hopefully, and hopefully I can do better at that. And just remember, like, this is a good example of there's just so much stuff that they have to work on that we don't understand or know about, and that doesn't mean they shouldn't communicate it. And that is my next point, to be fair. And I think Barrels said this perfectly. This is actually very cool because even if a lot of people can't understand the technical language, this translates to the devs are actually sharing with the community what they're working on. This I could agree with. Even though I can't understand all of this, it's still refreshing and calming to hear that they're just working on stuff. As dumb as that is, as much as I wish that we as humans we could just like trust each other, it's a little bit hard to do that right now, you know. And it's just nice to know that the devs are working on the game and telling us what they're working on. And even if we can't understand it, I think it just sets a lot of players at ease. So I really appreciate Q taking the time to write. It takes a lot of time to write all this and share all these thoughts. I get that. But thank you, and I would love to see, like Beryl said, I would love to see more. I would love to see a dev blog. And even if the dev blog once a month is the driest, most boring thing of all time, even if it's just Q posting something like this once a month, and then one every 12 months we get like a, oh actually just kidding, some cool updates coming like that, that would make, I think it would make me and put a lot of players at ease, in my personal opinion. Okay, that's just my thoughts, but feel free to disagree respectfully and kindly, and you know, treat people like humans. The devs are just people like us in the comments down below. All right, next up, we do have our item market check. Okay, I don't have a whole lot to say when it comes to items like this. It's really me just showing off the item and telling you guys about it because there's not a whole lot of information to add. The Fire Elfbot hat is just a really old, unique item, and when you market check an item that is so rare like this, there's only 1 to 2 on the G. There's 5 actually at that point. Wow, there's usually only 1 to 2 of these on the GTL at a given time. When something sells this infrequently, its price data is very hard to have a hard line. It doesn't really, it means less, you know what I'm saying? If there's less consistency, if it doesn't sell at these prices, like yada yada yada, it's very, very hard to take these prices seriously. But I do think a lot of older, what's interesting, I do think a lot of older vanities have come down in price over the past 1 or 2 years. The Fire Elfbot's kind of stayed the same. The Fire Elfbot hat, which is kind of impressive. It was like 150 mil here. Well, also it was listed for that. Did it sell for that? We don't know. We don't have sales data. We have PokeMMO Hub listing data, and that's it. Here it was listed for like 75, 76 million Pokeyen, you know. Here it was 150, you know, 200-ish, 180, 110 was there. This item has fluctuated 67 mil, 55 mil back in January of 2024. That's kind of crazy. That's an interesting little bottom out that I hadn't seen prior to scrolling through this with you guys. 150 mil, 180, but now it's around 100 mil or so. This is an item that has fluctuated seemingly between 65 mil and like 180 mil, you know, if we're talking like realistic pricing, which is just crazy. It really, with something this rare and old, it comes down to whatever someone is willing to pay. And it's crazy that some of these older vanities have reached 100 mil, you know. But the Fire Elfbot hat is a classic one. It only came out during Xmas 2016, if you aren't aware. And we don't know if Elfbot stuff will ever, I mean, this specific one will never return. We don't even know if Elfbot stuff will return. So it's just interesting to see. And it's cool to I think a lot of players don't know a lot of these vanities exist, which is why I like covering stuff like this. I don't have a whole lot to add to today's history one. It's more of like a, hey, this is a weird old vanity. It's kind of expensive. What's its true price? Somewhere between 65 and 180 mil, whatever someone's willing to pay for it is really what it comes down to on weird old rare stuff like this. Okay, that is our little market recap for today. Nothing super interesting, but cool to like kind of show off, right? Let's now jump into our achievement showcase. We're right into that, right into the achievement showcase, fellas. Yesterday's achievement showcase was insane. Okay, it is hard to compare to that, but let's go ahead and yeah, I guess that's a good thing to talk about. Elfbot vanities are often used to like scam other players, or often used, they're easily manipulatable. That's a good point to mention. Elfbot stuff, because there's so few of them, they're easily manipulatable. So just it's a good like PSA to be wary and be careful. If you are interested in buying or selling Elfbot stuff, be careful. Make sure to double check the price history, make sure to see what people are actually buying them for. If you're doing like a big trade, you know, yeah, definitely did not sell. If you're doing a big trade and someone's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw in my fire Elfbot hat, it's worth 100 mil towards like this one bill trade, make sure you double check that. It may not actually be worth that, and you want to push that person on that and make sure everything's okay. So that's a great point to bring up, is just really nail down and make sure you communicate very properly with your buyer and seller what you value the hat at, because it really comes down to whatever someone is willing to pay, really. That's a good thing to mention. It is definitely a scammable item, so it's a good PSA to be weary of it. Anyways, even though there is some demand, but it's a scarcely demanded item for sure, but also a very scarcely supplied item. Rikadu recently finally caught his first shiny ever, not just in PokeMMO, but in all of Pokemon. Okay, they managed to get themselves a shiny Poliwag, I believe, at 12,000 or so encounters. So congratulations over to them. Next up, another two first shinies to cover today, or I think a few of three or so, multiple first shinies today, which is cool. This many first shinies, I always like to say, this many first shiny achievements usually means that there's a lot of new players, or at least new players who are getting into shiny hunting, which is always cool to see in the summertime. Another first shiny, a shiny Zigzagoon, 22,000 encounters. This comes from Chicken Rise. I don't know how to say that name exactly, so my apologies, man, but congratulations on your first shiny within PokeMMO. Next up, GG, let's say, after a 50,000 encounter dry shiny, this is not their first shiny, I think, but it's their first ever egg. After going 50k dry, they decided to egg shiny hunt a little bit. They were catching some Ponyards, single encountering, getting Dittos and Spindas to breed with the Ponyards, and they happened to actually just roll an egg shiny Ponyard, which is fucking at 50,000 encounters, which is awesome. Beautiful shiny, cool to have that from an egg. Like, now you can kind of always reference that from now on. It's a really cool shiny to get, man. Congratulations to you. Ponyard's also one of those growing on me over the years. I have not been a huge fan of Ponyard / Bisharp, but the more I see people get them, honestly, it's growing on me. I always say the longer you play Pokemon or Pokemon in general, the more shinies you'll want to hunt, because Pokemon will end up growing on you over time. You'll start loving shinies or appreciating shinies because someone else appreciates them, and seeing that appreciation through their eyes is kind of beautiful, you know. Next up, this is a cool dude. This is a cool one, man. Kleiner with 1,000 hours of progress. So happy to reach such a milestone. Also, a shiny is very due. He only has one shiny under his belt with a tentacle at 4,000 encounters. The event season wore me down a little bit, I'll be honest, but we keep on going. The second photo is the event season haul, and none of it was all of it was farmed, none of it was bought or opened. I think that's really interesting. And I'll show you guys a little bit more detail, actually. Let's zoom in on his 1,000 hours played. So first things first, you can see he's got 20 million Pokeyen, 91,000 encounters dry right now, and at 1,000 hours played. Whew. This is a good account, a good overview of his. I love seeing like overviews of entireties of journeys and accounts like this, man. It is a really cool thing to share. And look at his fucking haul from event season. 191 dust balls, all farmed, none bought, none opened. 196 greats, 360 pokeballs, 113 ultras. Those really stand out to me. That's insane. And you can actually see when he was burning out. I mean, a little bit, to be fair. He does have 82 cherish balls. I was gonna say like he's low on red envelopes, but he probably just didn't play the abundant shrine. I didn't play the abundant shrine that much, so I get it. 225 Xmas presents, 105 goodie bags. This is a really fucking cool collection. 64 Santa presents as well. The hard mode, or the what is that from? Santa presents. What am I forgetting? Oh no, what is that from? It's been a second now. Obviously the pumpkin goodie bags. I don't think he has any of those. Those are from hard mode pumpkin. I don't see any of those. Why can't I remember? Anyways, we're waking up, boys. We're waking up. Speaking of, I got a little quick little Foodtrouski take, okay, to interrupt the achievement showcase. But congrats to this guy on his 1,000 hours. Not sponsored, just a genuine review. I mean, really, because they're not that good. These are. Do you guys remember the Mountain Dew kickstarts? I'm pretty sure these are discontinued. I'm like pretty fucking sure. Oh god, not the blur. Okay. I'm pretty sure these are discontinued. And I understand why. I love Mountain Dew. This was Mountain Dew's attempt to like make an energy drink. I love Mountain Dew. I fucking love Mountain Dew, okay? It's not bad. The more I've sipped it, it's fine. It's like an acquired taste. It tastes like someone poured orange juice into Mountain Dew, which does not sound amazing. But you keep sipping, it's better and better and better. The real reason why I'm drinking these, Foodtrouski coming in once again. I was lucky enough, we went to a liquidation store, me and my wife, to have some fun and shop around a little bit or whatever. I was able to get 8 packs of these, 12 packs, for $1 a piece, or it's for $1 for the 12 pack. So these came out to about 8 cents a can. So that, if you see me drinking these over the next few months, Keep in mind, that's why I'm doing it. 8 cents a motherfucking can. For fucking deal Trousty strikes again, boys. I be fucking shopping. I be fucking deal hunting, brother. I usually get my energy drinks for about $1 a can. I've never seen 8 cents a can. You are joking. Anyways, back to the real stuff. Okay, dude, this deserves covering my face. It's an important achievement. Okay, 3 shiny unknowns in 6 days. Unknowns are a tough shunt. They're a single encounter shunt. The encounters at the location they're at are kind of slow. You don't get that many wild encounters, like running back and forth. It takes a lot of steps for one encounter, if I recall correctly. He got one at 1,400 encounters, one at 11,000 encounters, then another at under 4,000 encounters. Very lucky for sure. But to get 3 shiny unknowns like this, are they all different letters as well? Like that's, oh, dude. I would love just 1 shiny unknown. Like that's getting 3 in 6 days is nuts. Also the Shroomish up there at 25,000 encounters, and to have the IGN shunting, that's what really also like stuck this out to me. To have the IGN shunting is so sick, man. Congrats to shunting, man. And then finally, our final quick little achievement showcase of the day. Hokage Zero got their first ever Shalfa. It's always funny to me when someone says like, I got my first ever Shalfa, because it implies they'll get more, which I hope they do. That's insane, right? But oh my god, like most players will never get an edge shiny in their lifetime. Shalfa is just next level, man. It's just one of those things, like so few players, you know, one in 10,000, 1 in 20,000 players get a Shalfa, maybe even, you know, 1 in 30, fucking the 1 in 30,000, you know, meme. Something crazy. Congratulations to you on having a Shalfa. Gramble, kind of an underrated one as well. I respect the Master Ball, man. Congratulations to you, Joe Kage. Okay, that is our stream recap intro. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions from chat, plenty more things to discuss and talk about, and I will see you guys after the stream crash in 3, 2, 1. So I haven't really rambled about Shiny War, so let's just go ahead and do that a little bit. So I'm sorry, looking forward towards, so talk about my feelings towards Shiny War. Yes, for a lot of reasons, but it's a mixed bag, because to be honest with, like, part of me is like, man, I wish War was already over, because it's just taking up so much of my time. There's so much content, guides, and things that I want to do that I just don't have time to do, because I have to spend all my time prepping for War as an Ironman account, you know. So part of me wants War to be over for the freedom of content creation and just my life in general. But then part of me just can't wait for it to start, because it's really nice waking up every day and having a very designated, very stern purpose that is just not going anywhere. And I feel like Shiny War really gives you that, especially in a team format. Shiny War, you wake up every day and you're shiny hunting, you're helping your team, you're fighting for, you know, that journey, you're fighting to prove yourself. You've also prepared for like months and months, so it's finally the time, and you're shunting. Like, so much of my preparation is picking berries, gym reruns, fossil farming. There's not a lot of exciting stuff that can happen aside from me just hopefully making it entertaining with the yapping, right? I've been honest about this, right? But this is the training arc. This is Naruto under the waterfall, you know, forming his fucking chakra. Like, this is the training arc. This is me getting there. And if you just watch Naruto versus Orochimaru or some shit, or some fight without the training arc, you don't have the build up, you don't have the you know, the proper elements, I guess, there, right? But the proper pacing. But I want it to be here. I want to fight Orochimaru, you know. I want to fucking be in Shiny War. I want to wake up every day with that designated purpose, with that easy thing to just go do. It's gonna be a lot of work and be very grindy and very stressful, but I want to be in the fight as opposed to preparing for it. I'm definitely sick of preparations, but also I need as much time as possible to prepare, if that makes sense. I need to fucking, you know, I have so many fossils I still want to get, so many lepers. If Shiny War started tomorrow, I would be really upset. I'd be sad because I'm just not prepared to where I want to be. But at the same time, I want to shunt. I'm excited to fucking finally shiny hunt, dude. The main thing that I haven't been able to do on the Ironman account since creating it is really properly shiny hunt, you know? Have you thought about what you're shunting? I will shunt whatever my team needs me to shunt that I can afford to shunt. I don't care about the species, the Pokemon. When it comes to Shiny War, I care about points. I care about my team. I care about, you know, we'll worry about that when I get to some extent. I might have some priorities or some preferences, but really it just comes down to I want to shunt whatever I can. I'm already limited as an Ironman account. I can't fish the way my team can fish with chum buckets. I can single encounter and I can hoard near P. I can't lepa shunt as well as my other teammates can, right? So that's going to be a lot of it. We have to just fucking roll the dice and try our best. It's going to be tough if I do a bunch of single encountering. If you see me, I already hate shiny Ponyta and Rapidash because I've broken so many single encounter shiny streaks with them. If you see me single encountering and I get a Ponyta or a Rapidash, it's going to be rough, dude. That's going to break me during war. I'm not going to lie. Like, getting unlucky single encounters is going to be really, yeah, that's going to be the toughest part. The big mental battle of shiny war is single encountering, spending 100 hours to get a shiny that could have been 30 hours and only worth like 1 or 2 points. You know, that's going to be the hardest part of war for me, is if I do a bunch of single encounter shunting, if stuff like that happens. What do you think about being able to use Wishing Stone to get an untradeable vanity like old boss reward vanities? Okay, that's kind of interesting. Like being able to get like the old ghost hands, ooh, or like the Halloween mask or whatever. At first I was just thinking, like, at first when I read that I was like, okay, just some untradeable vanity, that's tough. Not a fan. I respect that take. I understand, like, I think things being limited, sometimes people go a little too far when it comes to what's the word, when it comes to like, oh, everything needs to be accessible to everyone in a video game. I think some things should be a reward or rare or a challenge or time limited, because that's what makes them rare. If everyone can get everything, nothing is rare, nothing is special, you know. I think it's cool to have, yeah. I'm split on that. I honestly have to think about it more. I think the problem with Wishing Stone is that we've talked about this. I love the PokeMMO devs. I think I like to give them credit where credit's due. I like to critique where I can. I think a lot of people overhate on them, but I think we're pendulum swinging. I think people didn't really have many opinions. People hated them back in, to be fair, back in 2015, they used to get a lot of hate as well. But they kind of went back to, they got a lot of hate over the past 2 or so years due to some rough updates, in my opinion. But you never deserve hate, you know, with a bad video game update. But having said that, I think one of the biggest mistakes the devs have ever made is Wishing Stones, and they've put themselves in this really weird situation where the thing the Wishing Stone does now has to be very good. If you don't know, Wishing Stone is an untradeable item that was essentially given as an IOU because they didn't have like certain event rewards for certain holiday events. The Wishing Stone, it's been out for like 3 years now. I think the Wishing Stones have been in the game for almost 3 years. And there's like 3 or 4 total Wishing Stones, 3 or 4 total IOUs. The Wishing Stones have to do something that is very powerful, that was worth actually getting them, but it also can't be so powerful to where it's brutally unfair to those who didn't get them. It's a really weird situation. I don't know. It's a really tough thing to balance and get right. And I'm just hoping they do a decent enough job, but that one's a really tough one. How repeatable are permanent raids? I think you can do them once every 3 months. Once again, I've talked about, we've talked about that a ton, but I wish we had some more like repeatable endgame PVM content. But like we discussed today, you can't just focus on the fun and exciting updates all the time. You have to do the back end work, which takes a lot of time. So I'm sure they have a lot of the same goals. It just takes a long time to get there. What do you think of the idea of adding team rentals to the GTL? You could list a Jimmy Run team for 7 days and rent it out for like 200K, and after the time is up, it would be returned to you, or like payday Meowth or something like that. I mean, that is incredibly creative. I don't think I've ever had anybody else mention that, and I'm not opposed to it. My only concern is like the complications of actually coding that system. And like how, but I'm not opposed to it at all. I think that's interesting. And I'm curious how many players would use it. I mean, the price you gave is also really good. Like if you could rent out a Jimmy Run team for 200K for 7 days, that's like super worth for a new player to do, and then make a lot. Like that would be like really worth it until you can build your, you would only do it like once, and then you would build your own Jimmy Run team. So I'm not, that's really good for both players. Like let's say someone has an extra Jimmy Run team that is like super, it's really good for both players. It's more of like a how much would that service be used and how long would it last and how many new players would be willing to do it. But I really like the idea. My main concern is the difficulty of implementation is the main thing. Yeah, people do rent out vanities. I think Act Shit, who's a legendary player of PokeMMO, if you don't know, Act Shit rents out like really expensive vanities, and he makes like a bunch, like 80 million Pokeyen a month or something. He makes a fucking shit ton of Pokeyen every month renting out super expensive vanities, which is just fucking genius. And I'm glad he does. It's fucking, people are willing to pay to flex, man. It's genius business, dude. I mean, I'm glad you asked that question. Someone said, how much are fossils on the market right now? I do think that fossils are starting to rise a little bit. It might be a temporary change. Don't panic. Don't freak out. But I want to report on the news. Skull fossils are up about 1,500 yen. They're up from 10K to 11.5 over the past week or so. So is this people preparing for shiny wars, like finally, or some last minute prep? It's hard to say always. Armor fossils are kind of down though. We're at like a pretty stable price at around 8,800, 9K or so. Usually they're about 8K though historically, so I think it's still a little bit up, you know. In previous years, I'm not here to give financial advice. You need to make your own decisions responsibly, okay? But I can say in previous years, we have seen fossils reach like 15K a piece during war. I think pretty consistently. That's just the history. Will that happen again this year? I don't, maybe it won't. Maybe there'll be a different change, or people have already, stocked up on their fossils. I don't know. But in previous years, I think it's pretty safe. It's pretty safe to guesstimate that certain fossils, like the skulls, will probably get up to like 15K. Armors might not reach 15K. They might stay at like 12 to 13 or so. We'll see. But fossils are one of the best uses of Pokeyen during Shiny War to increase your rare shiny chances. This is a really good question that deserves a whole video, honestly. Pat, could you give insight to the Iron Man endgame, please? Maybe like a top 5 or 10 things to do on the Iron Man that won't take a lifetime but still a lot of effort. I mean, I can give you some goals, I guess. Here, let's just knock this down and create a quick list, okay? Like, do you want true endgame? Because endgame, I'm assuming you have all the utility Pokemon you need, all of, PVM Pokemon. And one of the big things is event season. I mean, this is just like goes into, you have event season in terms of getting all the vanities. Event season has so many things baked into it. Let's break it down a little bit more. Let's do, like, I would say all event season raids is a really good end game Iron Man thing. Farm event season for vanities. The only way to get vanities on an Iron Man account is by opening the sealed product from event seasons like Xmas presents, goodie bag, etc, etc, etc. 3 permanent legendary raids like Heatran. You really need Heatran on the Iron Man account. I don't have that yet. A big one is like as many 5x31 PVM / PvP Pokemon. I think collecting Pokemon is very fun on an Iron Man, collecting good mons. 5 would be like, I think placing in PvP, winning a PvP tournament is a big one on the Iron Man account. 6 would be like catch events. Winning a catch event. Let's just replace that. Winning a catch event. Catch events become meta on an Iron Man account. It's one of the only ways to win RP, trying to think. That's the main things I can think of. I mean, there's so many more. It's really whatever you want it to be. That's the whole point of the Iron Man account, and Pokemon being like the sandbox-ish game that it is. You could do like trying to get a really high score on Battle Frontier or Battle Tower. You could do collecting 6 of like every choice band, choice specs, all the items. Getting one of each item is a big one. I have a whole list of all my Iron Man goals on, I've covered in my series a billion times. Getting I wouldn't call this an end game reward, but like a mid game reward is like getting a PvP reward Pokemon. So things like like winning the randoms, like for example, like me winning the randoms PvP reward mon was a big deal. Getting a Conkeldurr, fun fact, getting a reward Conkeldurr is one of the biggest end game achievements you can do on an Iron Man account. I didn't have time to go for this one, but whenever Conkeldurr shows up as a PvP reward, it's one of the best things you can do, because getting a Mach Punch good Conkeldurr is impossible on an Iron Man account without winning it as a reward, because you can't breed Mach Punch. It's an egg move. You can't breed Mach Punch onto a Conkeldurr on an Iron Man account because you can't trade evolve it, and it's trade evolve only, right? So that's a rare thing, you know, a niche thing. And then obviously getting any this didn't even include getting any shinies you want to do, you know, getting any shinies you want to hunt for, utility shinies, shiny breeders, participating in shiny wars. I wouldn't expect the average player to want to do that, but that's what I'm doing, obviously. Hopefully that answers some questions about Iron Man in game. Great question. Dude, I always forget about that. That's a good tip from Sosa. Sosa was saying how it's really important. He really wants to win a punishment Murkrow. And I remember hearing about this. From my understanding, there is no way to actually breed, even though it's an egg move, there is no way to breed punishment onto Murkrow. The way you would do it, I believe, is with Mandibuzz. Is that right? He said, yeah, there's a vulture Pokemon. I think it's Mandibuzz, right? Yeah, Mandibuzz gets punishment and could theoretically breed it on, but it's a female-only species. I believe that's how it works. Let's see if I can find punishment. Yeah, punishment, learn level 28. Yes. I think that's how it would work. But because it's a female-only species, there's actually the only way to get punishment Murkrow is by winning a Murkrow from a catch event or some sort of event, and then choosing that as the move. Because it still can learn it in the game, but you can't actually breed it. It's very weird. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, as maybe there is some other way to, if you know another way to breed it on, let me know in the comments. But that's my understanding. It's a very niche situation in PokeMMO. It's always those cool little, you know, I love learning those little Easter egg type things. This is a great question. Someone said, do you think it's possible for an account that started this year to do shiny wars and be prepared for Halloween? Depending on what your goals are, yes. Like, if your goal is to be top 50, well, it depends on a lot of things. Is it possible? Yes. But are you gonna have to work your fucking ass off? Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. You know, like, even just getting top 50, like, you're gonna have all 5 regions done, like 20 years, like, you know, a while ago. All 5 regions done. You're gonna need like 10 to 30 million Pokeyen cash, let alone your net worth, let alone like all the utility catching. You're gonna need all utility mons, Jimmy Run team, catching Breloom, catching Smeargle, you know, all that done. Pokedex done, ideally. Do you need it done though? I don't know if you need Pokedex done, but it helps the extra XP training speeds. It's possible, absolutely, but it's not likely. The likely thing is, the realistic answer is, if you're a new player starting Pokemon right now, it's actually like one of the best times, because new players don't worry about participating in shiny wars, worry about abusing it. It's something I've talked about over and over again. Think about selling Ditto boxes, selling Lepa berries, catching Nintadas is so easy for new players. Selling fossils, doing what I'm doing right now, fossil farming, right? Dude, it's actually genius to be a new player between like June and August, because you can get a huge jump start on your event season prep. If you're a newer or intermediate level player, you can use Shiny War to make a ton of Pokeyen and then prepare all your raid Pokemon and all your everything you need for the Halloween event and stuff like that, whatever investments you want to make. You probably don't invest in your first event season personally, in my opinion, but do whatever you want to do. Yes, use Shiny War to propel your progress and then be ready for event season as a newer or middle level player. That's my opinion. That's a great question. But yeah, it's technically possible, I would say, to do war and be ready as a new, but it'd be so above and beyond, like, not your average player for sure, you know. I think that's going to be the perfect place to call it a little bit of a gym rerun PokeMMO music album re-listen on a Tuesday, 5-hour stream on a Tuesday, might I add. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Dislike if I'm stinky today. Subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon videos. I do upload every single day. You can follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. And I'm also streaming a bunch of the catch events on the weekends these days. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. There's a chance that I take off stream Wednesday. I take off tomorrow. We'll see. It's not guaranteed. And then Thursday, I'll definitely be live for that catch event. So I will see you guys very soon. Don't worry. We have lots of preparations, lots of training arc to continue on the Ironman account. And Shiny War is everything, and it should be coming up hopefully in the next month and a half, and hopefully we get some news. I'm really hoping we get some news on Shiny War in the next 1 to 2 weeks. That would be awesome. I'll see you guys soon. See you tomorrow probably, but for now, guys, peace or Reno. Yo, what's up? Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.